You're listening to the Hamptons to Hollywood podcast, made possible by our friends at Hamptons Handpoured. Summer is almost here, and there's no place we'd rather be than the Hamptons. Everything from the relaxed vibe to the sweet coastal air just exudes relaxation and fun. If a Hamptons trip isn't in the cards for you this summer, don't worry, we've got you covered. Not only can you see what's happening in the Hamptons on hamptonstohollywood.com, but you can also bring that sweet coastal sea air right to your own living room with a candle from Hamptons Handpoured. Made locally in East Hampton, there's a scent for each of your favorite villages. The amazing smells will make you feel like you're summering in the Hamptons, even if you happen to be in Hollywood, Houston, or somewhere in between. And for all Hamptons to Hollywood podcast listeners, we're giving you $5 off every candle found at hamptonstohollywood.com. Go to hamptonstohollywood.com/shop, pick your favorite scent, and use discount code CANDLE5 at checkout. hamptonstohollywood.com/shop, pick your favorite candle, and use code CANDLE5 to get $5 off. Hey guys, it's Kyle Langan, founder of hamptonstohollywood.com. Today's guest on the podcast is Brittany Torres, founder of Hamptons Handpoured, an amazing candle company based in the Hamptons. In our conversation today, we talked about Brittany's entrepreneurial success, what it's like being a recognized businesswoman in the Hamptons, and how she creates her crazy popular products. So without further ado, here's Brittany. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for being on the Hamptons to Hollywood podcast today.
Yes, thank you. I'm totally thrilled.
We are sitting at Left Hand Coffee and Mom Talk. So if anybody hears any cool background cappuccino machines, that's that's why. But so tell me a little bit about how, or when I guess you started Hamptons Handpoured.
So we started in 2015. And it started with just one candle, the Southampton, which has now become my bestseller.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm from Southampton, and I made them for Christmas gifts. And my family and friends were like, "This is amazing! Like, you should sell them in the store in Southampton that you're working at, and see what happens." So my boss, Kelly, at Therapy, Life and Style, she put some for sale, and we sold out like within the first like weekend or week. There was like a small batch there.
That's crazy.
And in that week, people were like, "Oh my God, well, where's Hampton Bays? Where's East Hampton? Where's Montauk?" So so it kind of just rollerballs from there. And now like I'm getting requests for like Cold Spring Harbor and Aspen and Palm Beach. So it's kind of interesting how putting scents like to tie to a place really resonates with people.
I would think so, for sure, yeah.
So that's when it started. So yeah, my 5th year anniversary will be this coming February.
Oh, right.
So 1 more year.
So, it's called Hamptons Handpoured, but you're going to branch out to cities all over?
I think I'm definitely going to do that since this has become my business.
Yeah.
People kind of trusting me with like creating a scent for a place. But I have ideas for different lines that I'm going to do, different kind of like vibes and aesthetics, totally different scents.
Yeah.
And then Hamptons Handpoured, that'll just be the umbrella of like all the different lines.
Got it.
Something that's like more mainstream that I could, sell to like cute shops in California.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily need to have like their town names in it. So,
Right.
So yeah, definitely thinking to branch out a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you actually, so I've known you, this is our first time meeting in person,
Yes.
but we have
Which
known
is
each other.
so crazy.
I know. We're email buddies.
Yes.
We're pen pals.
Yes, we are. I know. It's wonderful.
But you were the first vendor on Hamptons to Hollywood.
Yes.
Which is really exciting.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
But yeah, we have known each other since, I guess it was right around when you started. And I forget how I heard of you, but it's exploded since.
Thank you.
Since then.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Yeah.
People have been super supportive, like yourself. And I just try to be a yes person and make the right decisions for my brand. And Hamptons to Hollywood was definitely one of them.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I thought just things that make sense, good people, and people that I want to work with.
Yeah.
On a regular basis. There's been a couple that, things that haven't panned out.
Right.
And I think that's what the beauty of having your own business is. You can kind of pick and choose what's best for you and your brand and your integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about the process of candle making. So tell me about that process.
Okay. Well, it's very complicated. So basically, I buy my soy wax. It's 100% soy. It has no additives, no phthalates, so it's carcinogenic free. And it comes in flakes, and you basically melt that in a small kettle. I still make the candles in small batches of 12.
Wow.
So they're 8-ounce candles. And then you let that melt, and then you add your fragrance at a certain temperature. And I actually use the most fragrance that you can add per pound of wax. So it's a real quality saturated fragrant candle.
Right.
I hate when you burn a candle and you can't smell it. Yeah. Or even cold, if you try to pick up on the scent, it's hard to smell. So I like a substantial quality candle. So basically that's what you do. You add the fragrance in at a certain temperature, then you mix it up. I do about 20 strokes in each direction in the kettle, and then I pour it into a pouring temperature, and then I have all the glassware prepped with my wick bars that holds the cotton wick in place, and then I pour into the glassware, and you let it cure for at least 12 hours. And for the scent to come out, you need to let it cure for about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a process, but I could probably make 100 candles in about 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
that's awesome.
yeah, pour anyway.
And then where are you? So you sell them on hamptonshandpoured.com.
I do.
And then are you in any other besides hamptonstohollywood.com?
Yes.
Are you in any other stores, or where can people find your products?
I am. So we're in over 40 locations in the East
Wow.
End. Yeah, including obviously boutiques, gift shops, hotels, restaurant, bathrooms. We do a lot of collaborations with people. Since we're in Montauk, I think of this amazing company called Swim with Sharks. She's actually from Freeport, but she does a lot of her summer partnerships out in Montauk. And we did a really cute sunset candle for sunset scent candle. So things like that. We did the U.S. Open this past summer, which was really cool. It was a grassy scent, obviously. They called it fescue breeze for the greens. So stuff like that. So, but definitely there's a list online on our website based in each town, and you can find it. Which town candles are available in.
And how did you decide which scent marries to which town or village?
That's a good question. So for me, growing up in Southampton, I had certain ideas of basically the first 6 scents that I made. So from Montauk to West Hampton, I had memories in my whole life. So I had certain ideas. Montauk, obviously, I wanted it to be laid back, but also vibrant for the influx of people, the social scene in the summer, but also laid back and kind of sea salt, bright for the ocean. Bridgehampton, for example, I wanted it to be kind of grassy and green for the fields of Bridgehampton. Southampton, I wanted it to be clean, light, sophisticated.
Cotton is
just for my particular memories. So it started as far as that, there, and then if someone wanted to make currently I'm making a Cold Spring Harbor candle. And I ask people's input that live there. I visit the area. I try to pick up on anything that's growing there, plants or flowers or.
How cool!
Yeah, so that's and I ask people what their feeling of the place is.
It's probably so cool that your scents have might be influencing other people's perception of a certain place.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I hadn't thought about that.
It is someone might think of, when they go to Southampton, like, oh, that like clean, crisp, like, you know what I mean? It's so kind of, you have a lot of like influence, I think, over the Hamptons.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
I don't think that. But I definitely try.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And then, and how many different scents do you have right now?
I currently have over 40 scents. 40 is like my magic number right now. I have all the way from Montauk to Huntington, and all the little spaces in between. So
Right.
I have, for instance, like Remsenburg in West Hampton, or I do like a Riverhead and a Manorville and things
Right.
like that. And that's also really great for like local fundraising. A lot of people use like in those towns specifically, since it's not like Manorville is not like a tourist destination.
Right.
But for the people who live there, it's very special to them. And a lot of the schools do fundraising with like those candles
Got it.
from those towns.
How
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll be right back. Summer is almost here, and there's no place we'd rather be than the Hamptons. Everything from the relaxed vibe to the sweet coastal air just exudes relaxation and fun. If a Hamptons trip isn't in the cards for you this summer, don't worry, we've got you covered. Not only can you see what's happening in the Hamptons on hamptonstohollywood.com, but you can also bring that sweet coastal sea air right to your own living room with a candle from Hamptons Handpoured. Made locally in East Hampton, there's a scent for each of your favorite villages. The amazing smells will make you feel like you're summering in the Hamptons, even if you happen to be in Hollywood, Houston, or somewhere in between. And for all Hamptons to Hollywood podcast listeners, we're giving you $5 off every candle found at hamptonstohollywood.com. Go to hamptonstohollywood.com/shop, pick your favorite scent, and use discount code CANDLE5 at checkout. hamptonstohollywood.com/shop, pick your favorite candle, and use code CANDLE5 to get $5 off. So what is your background? Like, did you always want to work for yourself, or what is that? What brought you to this business?
So I was in publishing. I went to school for communications, and I really wanted to be.
Me too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Kind of like, I don't know, kind of leaving my doors open to like a few things, because I definitely wanted to be creative. I definitely wanted to work with people,
Right.
like with brands, marketing. So I worked for Long Island Pulse for a short time after school, and I ended up just not liking the day-to-day like office life. So I started working for my friend Kelly at her shop in Southampton, and just seeing what she did.
What kind of shop is that?
So it was clothing, women's clothing. Okay. Yeah. But she had like cool things. Like she had, before succulents got popular, she had somebody who came in and like made all these beautiful artisan, potted succulents, and just had collaborations with people just to sustain her business in the Hamptons. Which is difficult, year round. And I just realized if I wanted to live here near my friends and my family, I needed to kind of take control of how much money I was earning, and my happiness, like what I was doing.
Right.
So this kind of happened out of like nowhere. I was having some health problems and was home a lot from work, and I didn't have a lot of money for Christmas gifts. And I just made these, and it just kind of spiraled from there, where I was able to leave my job. And I don't know, a lot of people have been so supportive. So it kind of started like that way. And my parents have been entrepreneurs in the past. They own the first video store, like VHS video store in Queens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before Blockbuster was even a thing. And they had a really thriving business. They did a couple of other things too, but they've always like pushed me to do, what I want and be different. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Here I am talking to you on this beautiful
misty day.
Saturday.
I also wanted to ask you where you get the scents, or how do you manufacture the scents? Like,
That's a good question too. So they're all plant-based fragrance oils.
Oh, wow.
So they're not essential oils, as like some articles have said, because you can't really heat up essential oils. As much as I want to use like pure therapeutic grade essential oils, my oils are, I would say, 80%, 100% natural, and the other part is to make them readily used for candle making. So I get them from my wholesalers, and they have kind of like, lavender. Like they have like very simple strains of their fragrance oil, and then they also have proprietary blends. So they'll do like a sea mist or ocean view or something like that they've like created using like notes like ozone and sea salt and like a light floral or something like that. And then I mix all of those to like create my scents. So that's where those are from.
I feel like there's like some like chemistry involved. Like how long does it take you to like perfect a scent? Sometimes I've hit it on the head and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great, like all the notes seem balanced. Sometimes, for example, like if I use I've used saffron in a scent, and that overpowered the whole candle. Wow. So all you smelled was the saffron. Right. And I really had wanted to use saffron because I thought that was like a nice kind of bright spice that I could use, and I just ended up not being able to use it because it just overpowered every like batch that I made. Right. So it I would say, I'm trying to think right now, I'm making a couple custom candles. I like a lot of scents, but if I'm making a custom scent for someone else, that process is like a little long because they may have something in their mind that they think is, would smell like sage, and then when I actually pour it, it smells different to them. So that whole process takes a little longer than my own. Do you have to go like back and like have them test it and see like yes or no, and then you go back and kind of perfect it and stuff? Exactly. And like sometimes it like you hit the nail on the head and they love it. Some people like to let it cure for the 2 weeks and kind of smell it what we call like a hot throw as opposed to a cold throw. So they have like a burn. They check the burn time and how it burns and all of that. And then some people are just like, yeah, I love it. Like, let's move forward. You know? So. And do you, so just to be clear, so you have your scents, your signature scents that you sell, and then you just kind of, if someone says, oh, like, can you make me like a scent for my wedding or something like that, exactly. you would. Yeah. The top requested scent for weddings is lilac, which is so crazy. So I've like done like variations on lilac, like lilac eucalyptus. I feel like it would be hard to like not replicate the same scent for. Yeah, if everybody wants lilac, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And some people don't mind. Like sometimes they'll say like, oh my gosh, I did this great wedding, last spring, I have this scent, and they're like, oh my god, perfect. That's amazing. Oh, got it. Yeah. Also what I do for weddings is I try to mimic the scent of the flowers that they're using, like in their arrangements. So if they're using hydrangea or peony, or a lot of people these days have been using eucalyptus, it's just so beautiful. I'll try to like incorporate that into the scent. Yeah. Wow. So what do you see, what's like next for Hamptons Handpoured? What's like, or maybe what I should say, what is like your 5-year plan? That's a good question. I definitely would like to employ local people. I'm like right at the cusp of that. I have like my family helping me, which is like not always, a full-time gig. So I do a lot of everything still. But I'd love to have, people in the winter out that want to live out here year-round, maybe fill in some hours and, be able to like pour a candle and say that they're part of like this company that hopefully is growing. And, right. So that's my next step, I think, and to branch out on what I'm doing creatively. Got it. Yeah. And you have a studio that I assume you make all this stuff in? Yes. So I've had my studio in many places, from backs of stores to basements to my kitchen. And now we just moved into a house in Springs, and I have a little studio on the property there. So it's like really nice. Yeah. But that would change like once I employ people. But for right now, that's where I'm making it. That's cool. Yeah. How much space does one? I just don't know anything about. Like, how much space do you need to create all of your? If you're making like 100 candles at a time, for example, I feel like that's like a You need a lot of precious space. Real estate. Yeah. Totally. Well, I actually have these like shelves that I can put like more candles on. Once they're done. So I have like a big table space, I would say about like 200 feet, which is really small. I could use more because I have
I have my product station once it's done. I have where I pour the candles. I have all my storage, and then I have like a packing station for like all my Etsy orders and shipments and deliveries. But yeah, so far it's been working out well. But I think more than 2 people in the space, it's too much. Yeah.
Do you have to like trademark your scents at all?
So I have gotten some legal advice, and they say that you cannot trademark a place, although people claim to be able to do that. But that's something that I'm going to be looking into, because I have seen already since I've started like a couple of Southampton candles, which is fine, but most of the people that make them are not even from Southampton. So I think, but I get it. Like, as same as I would like to branch out in other places that I visit and that inspire me or that my customers are wanting, I don't want to take that away from anyone else.
Right.
So by trademarking, I feel like that puts like a limit on other people as well. But I'm just doing my thing, and hopefully people like it more than another.
Right.
So.
But I think you have kind of, I think when people buy into a product, or at least when I do, I think people want to hear like the story of like the brand.
Totally.
And I think that you definitely have like a compelling story because you're from here.
Thank you.
And there's all these other, scents to supplement, like, oh, well, if you don't like the Southampton one, here's the Bridgehampton.
Totally.
Yeah,
no, definitely.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Maybe we should make a Hamptons to Hollywood scent.
That would be awesome. That would be great. I would love to, what would you be, like, what comes to your mind when you think of something like that?
I would say, it's kind of cool because they're both coastal areas. Something that like a jet setter would like. That's somebody who's living a bi-coastal kind of life. So I would definitely get some feedback on like
that's awesome.
That person.
That's awesome.
And what they like. But definitely probably like an ocean scent. I mean, that's my cup of tea. Let me correct that back here. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. Maybe you'll see that in the future. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. This was fun.
I know. I'm glad we finally met.
I know. Me too. It's been too long.
Well, yeah, thanks so much, Brittany, and I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.